We have all heard of that girl and that person that you want to be, that woman, how to become your best self with the habits, the actions that you take, and so much more. But it is all or nothing how most people say it. You either have to start adapting to these habits, create that life, and really just become that girl overnight. Well, I disagree. I think you can be that girl that is balanced and realistic while still becoming your best self. So that's what we're talking about today. So welcome back to Balance While Blooming. That girl is something that we see on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok, all over social media, and it's different for every person. And I think that people are giving an all or nothing mindset to behind it. And it really is just a mindset shift. It is something that you, as you, individually, uniquely you, are deciding to become that next version of yourself. Now, is that going to be your best self overnight? No. But you are going to slowly take the action, the habits, the necessary steps to become that person that you want to be. And that girl makes it sound like you are going to fit in. You want to be that woman that you want to become. And that is a balanced and blooming person. So I have some tips and basically an outline of step-by-step how to become that girl. I'm not going to give you any habits that you need to do, any tips and tricks. It's all going to just be a basic outline of how you can transition from the person that you are right now to that girl that you want to become, not what you see all over social media. Because over here on this side of the internet, I like to share my journey of how I balance all the things that I need to do. So all my priorities, all the things I must do with the things that I want to do. So these are my hobbies, my passion projects, my side business, all of these things, and how I merge them together to become my best self and bloom into the person I've always wanted to be, live the dreams that I wanted to achieve, and really just take action and take control back in my life. If this is the type of videos you like to see, please subscribe, like this video, and let me know what other uplifting and just step-by-step guides or more information that you want to hear from me. Let's just jump right into this guide of how to become that girl. So first, you want to make sure that you know what type of that girl you want to become, and that is realistic for you, because it is impossible for you to be the same person that I want to be. We are very different. What we want to do, what we want to achieve are completely different. And you want to make sure that it's realistic and achievable for you. So what does that girl look like to you? Really manifest it, visualize it, even write down like, okay, if I'm becoming that girl, what is it going to look like? Write it down. It is for everyone, so don't say, oh, well, this must not be for me because what I'm seeing on social media is not who I want to be. It is uniquely you. Whatever you want out of that girl is what you will give. That being said, ask yourself what type of person you want to become, the life that you want to live, and the habits that align with that person. This is how you're creating that girl. Really set the systems of, these are the habits I want to achieve that are going to align with the person I want to be. These are the habits that I've maybe seen that I think align with my life. But no matter what you add, will it bring positive change into your life? You don't want to do something that is not realistic for you. So I'm a morning person. So for me, having this really long night routine is just not for me. Long morning routines is for me. I love the morning. I love a slow morning. I love being productive and getting as much done and self-care. Now at night, I want to just be quick, easy. I'm not a big nighttime gal. So I wouldn't put a lot of that girl habits for nighttime. Now that you know who you want to become, now it's time to plan how you're going to become that person. Without a plan, this will turn out into burnout, or you won't even start because you'll either try to just do it all, but give up because it's not realistic to go from day 1 to day 100, right? You don't want to compare your day 1 to my day 100 and on my growth journey for over 6 months. So the things that I've adapted to and the ways that I plan or I schedule or the habits that I do have evolved over the last 6 months. Now, when you are talking about this, the plan will create the consistency and the accountability that you need, because you will be taking it one bite-sized chunk at a time. That being said, what are those things? What are those new habits? What habits do you want to break? What goals would you like to achieve? What is this plan? So you've already visualized who this person is. So what are the goals to get there? What habits do you need to take? And what habits do you need to get rid of to become that person? Create a plan of how to build this into your current routine and into your systems, because while looking at the longevity of months and years, this may not happen this week, this month, or even this year. In this next year, you might just be in the trial era. You might just take the whole next year to see where they fit into your routine, where they fit into your system, how are they going to fit into your life. Because if you try to do all of the changes in your habits, the ones that you want to break, everything like that, you will burn out. You will overdo yourself. You will not really believe in yourself, to be honest, because you're like, this is all or nothing. That's not how life works. I'm sorry. It's just not. So really think about the longevity of this process. That girl is not going to happen overnight. It is a journey. It is something that we go on to become that person that you want to be. Now that you've decided which routines, you've set your plan, now let's slowly introduce these habits into your routine. So one at a time, and figure ways to habit stack them. I would say, depending on how ambitious you want to be, I would do one every week to month. So that means you can do 3 to 4 a month, but really set them up 1 week at a time. But you also don't have to do it drastically. Like if you want to wake up earlier, maybe set your clock 10 minutes earlier every single day. So by the end of the week, you've hit your goal, but you are doing in little increments. You want to go to the gym 4 times a week. Maybe that's a whole thing where the first week you go once a week, the next week you go 2 times a week, the next week 3, 4. By the end of the month you've hit a 4, and you want to kind of keep that consistency, but you worked your way up. Because if you go all or nothing, you will give up. You will not feel like it's in your routine. You think it's something that you have to do, not something you want to do. And I want this journey to be something that you want to do. I want you to put this routine over time with these habits, one at a time and one step at a time. Do little bits by bits to really see the longevity of these habits, because that girl should not be something that you do for 3 to 6 months, you burn out, and then you have to do it again next year when you gave yourself time for a break. Now, there are times for breaks in your systems and who you are and being more lenient on yourself, don't get me wrong, but you don't want to lose sight of the long-term game, which is, how is this going to be for my life? How is this making me my best self? And don't be too hard on yourself through this journey. Be patient, do self-love, do self-care, appreciate yourself that you are doing this and you are going through this process and you are seeing the change over time. Because if you're too hard on yourself, if you don't believe in you, who's going to believe in you, right? So be patient, do a little by little, and really understand that this is a journey and it won't all happen overnight and it won't just magically feel right. Now, some of your habits will just be like, oh my gosh, I needed this my whole life. Like, why didn't I start this sooner? And some will take more time because your mind likes being comfortable. And when you're uncomfortable, your brain is literally wired to not like to get out of your comfort zone. But when you take that risk, the part of your brain that is proud of yourself and excited, once you get it and once you achieve it, it's going to be so happy. And I want you to start triggering that part of your brain where your self-confidence comes back. You start loving your life. You start loving yourself because of the actions you are taking, the life that you are living, and just really the atmosphere of who you are and who you are becoming is something that you are enjoying. So if you're too hard on yourself, just be patient, let it happen, take some self-love, and appreciate that you are doing this for yourself. Now we're getting into how to reward yourself and make sure that you are on the right path. So first is track your process. When you are progressing in anything like this, you are going to feel times of lulls, but that's when you look at your tracker and say, oh my gosh, I know when I'm progressing and when I'm not. When am I stagnant? What is happening? When am I not doing these goals? And what is working for you and what is not needs to be modified, because as I said, that girl is not for everyone. So knowing when it's not aligning with you and when you are just crushing it, knowing when it feels right is going to be so essential through this process. And that's why doing one habit at a time, incorporating one at a time, you will know what is working, which habits are working, which actions are working, who you are becoming, which habits align with you, which ones don't. Because if you do them all at once, you're never going to know which one is really triggering that stagnant, burnout, not feel good, gut wrenching, I don't want to do this feeling. But when you do it one at a time and track your progress over time, you can really see what's working and what's not, and take out the ones that aren't working, because it's not aligned with your life. Just because someone else does it doesn't mean you have to do it. And not every habit is for everyone, and that's okay. That's what makes us unique. That's what makes this world a beautiful place. But understand that you can still achieve your best self the same way I can. They're just in different ways. Now, when you are proud of yourself as you are tracking, you must reward yourself for your achievements, your self-improvements, everything. And it can be the small wins. This is important as you hit these goals and achieve what you want out of life. And it does not need to be anything crazy, but something small. Maybe you take a bath, a self-care day, get a new book, something that aligns with your passions and something that you want, and be really proud of yourself for how far you've gone, and really something that makes you feel warm inside. Go get yourself some flowers, take your husband or boyfriend out for a date, do something that is for you and reward yourself. And this is hard work. It's not labor intensive hard work, but it is something that you need to remind yourself that you did this and we can keep going, and teach your mind that you are achieving things, that you are confident, that you can put in the work to achieve what you want. And it also helps, as I said, your self-esteem, and increases the motivation for you to keep going and push yourself to work towards that next goal, because you rewarded yourself. It is that cue process reward that most habits create. You need to have the cue, the action, and the reward to keep going in life and have it for longevity. Now, lastly, have fun during this process. It's something that you should enjoy. The things that you are adding into your life that align with you, you should be excited about. You should be so happy that this is working out for you, that you get to do these things. And don't do things that you don't like doing or that don't fit into your lifestyle, because this is a longevity process. That's the whole reason that we balance this into our lives and make it really realistic for you. Because if you want this to work, you need to do things that only you would want to do. And remember that what works for you should be something that you like doing, but it doesn't need to be what others are doing, and that is completely okay. And as I said earlier, it takes time. Be patient. Be really gentle with yourself through this process. And if you make it too hard, you will give up and quit. And not having fun in this process, not sharing it with your loved ones that you are going through this journey and you are on this path of becoming your best self, make it maybe a group thing. do it together. Find people who want to grow into their best selves. Now, have them watch this video because you guys are not going to have the same habits. You are not going to have everything aligned the same. You are becoming different people. So understand that you may be able to reward yourselves at the same time. You may be able to express your achievements, hold each other accountable, but you aren't always going to be doing the same thing. And that is the luxury of this journey, is that this is for you and you only. And you get to decide what you are going to do. You are going to decide who you are going to become. And you get to be the one to experience your life with confidence, great self-esteem, motivation towards your goals, all of these things. And I want you to understand that that girl or that woman is all for you. Now, I'm going to be honest, you're going to start with that girl. You are going to become that person, that the little person that you were always wanted you to become. Then I want you to kind of mature those habits and look longer term. And that's okay. And I didn't want to say this at the beginning because it does hurt some people's feelings. Like, you are going to start a little younger. Maybe not younger, but you're going to feel like a little kid. And I want you to enjoy this process. But once you become that girl, I want you to level it up to that woman. So let me know what that girl habits you are going to start doing once you sit down and really sit with yourself, see who you are, and let me know what habits or goals you are setting in the comments. Like this video, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and remember to balance your life is balancing the things you want to do with the things you need to do while blooming into your best self. And I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.